Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Wine Time with Peggy show, featuring Peggy Fiandaca, who, along with her winemaker husband Kurt Lawrence Dunham, owns and operates LDV Winery in Arizona. Welcome, everyone. With it being the height of summer, which means harvest time will be happening in the vineyard soon, we thought we'd do a special focus on one of our favorite ingredients, the versatile shrimp. Did you know these amazing creatures can be found in both fresh and salt water, and that some can even change color to camouflage themselves? Well, with its quick cooking time, light texture, and incredible ability to pair with so many fresh summer flavors, and of course, a wonderful variety of wines, shrimp is a perfect choice for a simple and delicious meal. Join us now as we dive into our Wine Time with Peggy podcast archives to showcase two of Peggy's most popular shrimp recipes. First, the Jicama shrimp tacos. Second, Southwestern pesto shrimp. You know, this is a little Southwestern, I'd say, but you know what? LDV Winery is located in Arizona, so this makes sense, not just in locality, but also for our taste buds. As always, the recipes are linked in the episode notes. Cheers! And you've got a super cool, and I mean cool, recipe to share with people. Everyone, it's Jicama tacos, right? Shrimp
Right.
tacos, and the link will be in the show notes, so you can link to that and check it out. So tell us about this, because Jicama, that's very Southwestern. A lot of us,
Right.
use that. Love it's like a potato apple to me.
Yeah, it is very much so. And in summertime, when it's hot, you don't always want to turn on the stove or light a grill. You want something fresh and quick and not have to cook. So this is the perfect recipe for you. You need to take the skin off the jicama because it does have a skin like a potato skin. And then what I use is a mandolin to slice the jicama really thinly, because you're making tacos, so or a taco like wrapper. So I use a mandolin on a very small amount, and then you want to get the like a round size. So I think the recipe calls for a 1.5 to 2 pound jicama might be a good. And I also, while I'm doing them, I put them in water just to let them stay pliable while I'm cutting them all up and then preparing the rest of it. And it's very simple. This recipe, you can buy already cooked shrimp if you want shrimp. And then I like to marinate it in some Tabasco, the green Tabasco. I do like the hot stuff. Yep. And let it marinate for about 30 minutes while you're making, make your salsa. Of course, you can buy your salsa and doctor it up after you bought it, or I have a great little recipe for making your own salsa and make it as spicy as you want, and save the fresh lime until you're ready to serve it, to put it on top. And then I also like to make a little salad of avocado and some mixed lettuce, or you can do a coleslaw, not a mayonnaise coleslaw, but a little coleslaw that you might put on it, or beans like we talked about. Black beans would be wonderful. So you take your jicama and you put whatever you want, like your black beans, or in this case, I put the salad on the bottom, top it with my shrimp, and then top it with my salsa and spritz some lime on it and pour some Viognier or Sauvignon Blanc and sit on the patio. It's wonderful.
A great recipe, everyone. If you look in the episode notes, we have one of Peggy's awesome recipes. This one is for Southwestern pesto shrimp. So, well, this guy's, because Mexico has some amazing seafood, right? They're known for it.
Right.
So, yeah. So Jalisco, isn't this Jalisco then, wouldn't it be? I think,
right.
as I recall. But tell everyone about this recipe.
It is very easy. When you think about Mexican food, it's so Americanized, it's very American. Mexican food is very cheese laden.
Sour cream gets on there, which I don't
know. Yeah, loads of sour cream. And
they don't do that in Mexico that I saw.
But, there's beautiful Mexican food that is seafood based and just the layers of chilies and spice and so on that the moles and are just
Mm.
incredible and pair beautifully with wine. And usually, at least in this country, the go-to for pairing with Mexican food is or margaritas, but I want you to think about wine when you're pairing with Mexican food. But the Southwestern pesto shrimp, it's just making a pesto and putting a Southwestern spin on it. Instead of making it with basil, which is an Italian pesto, this is made with cilantro.
Ooh, that's
Cilantro,
refreshing.
yeah, cilantro, garlic. I do use Parmesan cheese, or you can use a cojito, which is a bit of Mexican cheese, would be great in it too. And jalapeno, of course. You want to have that spice. And instead of typically using pinion nuts, I use almonds in this pesto. So it gives it a little bit richer flavor. And then with olive oil, and you just mix it all up, a little salt in there, and you get this beautiful pesto that then you marinate the shrimp. And you want to get, I think the recipe I call for arfin, which is a little bit bigger shrimp. And then you marinate the shrimp for at least an hour in that pesto to let the flavors really get into the shrimp. And I suggest putting it on a rack and cook, or not on a rack, but in a cookie sheet for 350 and cooking it for about 10 to 15 minutes in the oven. So it's just a wonderful shrimp dish. You can serve it cold or warm as an appetizer or as your part of your main course, maybe with some rice or something with it, and pair it with a beautiful Sauvignon Blanc or an Alberini.
What would you do with one of your wines?
I would go with our vignette, the
Yeah.
one that's more the Sky Island vignette. Or you could do with our Sky Island Grenache would be beautiful, I think, with this.
Well,
dish.
we're still needing to come back and taste the Viognier. We've got to,
Yes,
we feel we're part of the birthing process. We need spec in it.
you
But
are.
it's exciting. When you're talking about R15, when I saw the recipe, I was like, is that rands? I mean, I come from South Africa, so an R is rand. So I'm looking,
Oh,
it's only $15. What's $15 anymore? But what is the R? I'm sorry,
it
everyone, I'm
tells you.
allergic to seafood,
Yeah.
so I have no clue. So maybe someone else is like me who just doesn't know. So what does the R stand for?
It gives you, it usually tells you about how many shrimp per pound. So an
Oh, okay.
R15 means there's 15 to 20 shrimp per pound. So it gives
Oh,
you
okay.
an idea based on the size of the shrimp, how many are in a pound.
I
So
just didn't know if it was a grade or not, like
I
the
don't
jewel
know what
dates,
it's, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it stands for. That's how I interpret when I see an R15 to 20,
Okay.
that means there's 15
Sounds like
to
a car now. Now I'm all
I
like,
know,
it's an
right?
R15, baby. Rev that motor. I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio's Wine Time with Peggy show. Keep up with LDV Winery at ldvwinery.com. Keep up with Big Blend Radio at bigblendradio.com.